Hey y'all, joyful Sunday. If y'all hear brown noise or white noise in the back, it's because my son is asleep and that helps him stay asleep. But joyful Sunday, I am happy to be back in front of a camera. As y'all see, I am in a different spot in my room, and that's because my dad came over, saw the drums on the saw the TV on the drums, and he was like, "No, that is a safety hazard. We're gonna put the TV on the dresser." So, I mean, not on the dresser, on the desk. That's what I was usually recording on it. Y'all can see it back there with a bunch of stuff in it and on it. But I'm hopefully gonna be getting a dresser soon, and I'm excited for that. And wow, I feel like God just gave me something to kind of talk about. I had wanted to talk about one thing, but I'm gonna just go with what I feel like I'm supposed to be talking about now, which is different. But do not despise the small beginnings. And I did not plan to talk about this. This literally just came probably 1 minute ago as I was speaking, but do not despise these small beginnings. And so I can already see where this is going. I'm just gonna start. Bear with me as I try to talk through this. Back in 2024, I had felt like I was going to move. I don't remember if it was because I was following the numbers. I don't remember if it was because I had seen a video that was like, get ready to move. I don't remember why I felt like I was going to be moving. It was probably a video, I think. I think it was a video that really just spoke to me about, it was like talking about moving. But I had felt like I was going to move. And so as y'all know, 2024 was the year that a lot of things in my life happened. God showed me that I was into divination and following things that weren't from him. God started to get me back to my identity in him. He had slowed me down, had me to stop working as much, doing things of the sort. So it was a big year. 2024 was a big year. Just in case you haven't been seeing the other videos, a lot of where I am now in life, 2024 was kind of like a big catalyst for that. I think catalyst is the right word. But felt like I was going to be moving, and I didn't really know like how everything was going to happen. And so other factors are into play, but I started getting rid of a lot of stuff. I started getting rid of clothes, shoes, just stuff, right? And then later in 2024, I got pregnant. And I remember having a desire to be in a new space, have more room. I remember one day after church, I came home into the apartment. The apartment wasn't like an old school apartment. It was a pretty modern, up-to-date apartment. But I came home, and I remember I just looked and I just vomited. I was just so over the apartment. The best word to describe it was old. Like I outgrew it. And so, had the desire to move, didn't know how I was gonna move. 2024, that summer we renewed the lease because we didn't have anywhere to go. My husband was like, we're renewing the lease. I know you think we're gonna be moving, but nothing is shaking right now, so we're renewing the lease. Then I got pregnant, and that like winter, I came home one day and I just saw the apartment, and I was just like, I'm over it, and things of that sort. So February of 2025, was talking to my, and she was moving. Mind you, I'm at an apartment and I have a desire to move, and I'm pregnant. And so we're on the phone and she's just talking to me, and I'm like, I'm listening to her, but I have a desire in my heart to move. And so we get off the phone and I feel like I think it was like maybe a spiritual attack of worry and just my desires, just like I want to move, I want to move, Lord, all this stuff coming up, but I just feel like I couldn't breathe. My chest was heaving, I was crying, and it felt like a real panic attack. And so my husband was there, he was praying, and I went into the bathroom and I just got on my knees, and the word that I felt like I heard was surrender. Like, it was just surrender, was clear as day. Like, that was the word that I remember from that moment, was surrender. And as much as I wanted to move, in that moment I knew you gotta surrender it, you gotta lay it down. And so I remember I was on the bathroom floor and I got up, and it was kind of like I dusted my hand of the situation, and I was just like, let it be. And so as I'm getting deeper into my pregnancy, if y'all don't know, when you hit that trimester, you start wanting to nest. It's like you want to get ready for the baby to come. And so I was getting rid of more stuff, like cleaning baseboards, letting go of old this, old that. My friend was like, then you gonna get rid of the whole house. It was an apartment, but you get what she's saying. I was just like, this gotta go, this gotta go, this gotta go, this gotta go, this gotta be ready, this gotta be ready, this gotta be ready. I was just getting things in order for the baby to come. And that was like the springtime, and he came in May. And so I was just like, okay, I can deal with this. We got more space, we got more room, because I had let go of so much stuff. And we enjoyed when he came. Family came over, we played music together, we had a good time. And it was just like a nice fun moment in that apartment, an apartment that I had felt like I had outgrown. And I know some people are probably like, what do you mean by that? When I moved into that apartment, I was in the divination. I remember losing my mind in that apartment. I remember passing out in that apartment. I remember having anxiety attacks outside of that apartment. I remember just a lot of stuff in that apartment. And 2024, God took me out. Well, God revealed to me that I was in divination and started pruning that off of me. And so as I realized, dang, I was into divination, I was into things that weren't of God, I'm looking at this place and I'm seeing the old me, the old things that I used to do, the way I had just fallen kind of from his grace. And it just felt like the old me. I had just spiritually outgrown that place. And so a big thing for me, I'm not gonna say big thing, but a thing that I wanted to happen was for me to be able to bring my son into a new place. I didn't want to bring him into the place that all those things had happened. I wanted to bring him into new, and I wasn't able to do that. But like I said, I had to surrender that desire to move to God. So my son was here. I was just like, it is what it is, God. Even though these things pretty much happened here, it's in your hands. And so after May, we got the little letter to renew the lease. I forgot what month it was, but I think it's usually 90 days before you leave, you get the note to renew the lease. And I had seen it, and my husband, I believe he had signed it before he went to work. And he said, make sure you sign it to have it turned in. And so in my mind, I'm ready to sign this lease and live here again at the apartment until God says, it's time for y'all to go. I was like, okay, I'm ready. It's in God's hands. It is what it is. And so my husband, he had called me, and he was just saying, like, I'm talking about some things, we go see some things. And I was just like, okay, like, I'm just listening to what he's saying. And then I think he came home and he ends up telling me that we have the opportunity to move. And I was like I was I was kind of shocked, but I wasn't like oh my goodness, we get to move, because I had become so content with it's in God's hands. And so he had pretty much said, like, we're not going to be living at the apartment for another year. We're going to be moving in X amount of days. And I was just like, okay. And he was like, you're not excited, Night? You're not excited? You had wanted to move so bad. And I was pretty much like, when it happens, it happens. I had become so okay with it's in God's hands, it's in God's timing, with surrendering it, that when it came back, when that desire in my heart finally came back, it was just like a wow, like, I gotta see it. I gotta see it happen. And so we were moving, we were cleaning the apartment and stuff, and our dresser was already broke, but I think as they were moving, it broke more, to the point that we couldn't even use the dresser. We had to leave it there. It was broken. And I was like, okay, like, that's not that big of a deal. It was already broken. And it's no big of a deal because our bed had 4 deep, pretty big drawers, and it had a nice headboard and a bookshelf on the side. So it was a nice bed. And so I was like, you know what? We don't have our dresser, but our bed has drawers where you can put stuff in. So we move into the place that we're in now. And as we're moving, they're trying to move the bed up the stairs, and the stuff just doesn't fit. It can't go up the stairs. It can't go. So I was just like, dang, okay. Okay. And so when we moved here, we have more space, more rooms, but we didn't have a bed frame. We had a mattress, but we didn't have a bed frame. We didn't have a dresser. We had boxes, we had bins, and we had a mattress. And I compared it to my apartment, because when I moved into my apartment, I was working and I was in school. My husband was in school, and he ended up working, and so we were pretty good on money. We had to sleep on, like, the mattress maybe one night, and then we built the bed frame the next day or something like that. And that was it. Like, we had our couch, we had the things that we needed. But when we moved here, we didn't have the bed frame. We didn't have the dresser. We didn't even have, like, just what people would probably call, like, well, dang, I don't got that. Like, the simple stuff. We didn't have some of the simple stuff. And something that just came to my mind, like, as we were here, was these are the small beginnings. At the apartment, I didn't have really those small beginnings because I had money. I had things that I could get when I wanted to get. I didn't really have to wait and rely on other people and on God for real. But here, I had and have to. And so we were enjoying sleeping on our mattress. Our TV was on the floor. Then we ended up putting the TV on the drums, as y'all saw. And hopefully soon we'll have a TV on the dresser. And I was just like, wow. At the apartment, I remember at one point in time, I felt that one part of it wasn't really comfortable to me. It was like, I felt like the living room was more of how my room was supposed to feel, but my room didn't really feel like anything. And I didn't decorate my room that much. I didn't really do anything. And for me, that's a big deal. I like to decorate and do things like that. But because I was in school, working, doing this, doing that, I really didn't make my room my place. You know, I didn't make it me. And so one thing that I'm going to be doing in this room is making it me, making it my place, making it my creative space. And I'm so excited to do that. And my husband, he's like, yeah, you can, you know, do what you want, because he has his own space where he can kind of make his space his space, and I feel like this is where I can make my space my space. And so I'm really looking forward to that. But during this, I really have to wait and rely. I have to wait and rely. And I feel like the small beginnings help you to appreciate it more, because when I get that dresser, I'm gonna definitely remember where this phone is right now. This is a bin that has clothes in it. This is my mini dresser. This bin is my mini dresser. Where's the rest of my clothes? In a laundry bin, like a laundry little container. That's where my other clothes are. And then some of them are hung up. And I got some racks in there, but don't have a dresser. We was just living out of boxes, and that was new for me. Honestly, I was like kind of embarrassed about it because I wasn't used to that. I had never experienced that, especially with this being the second place that I moved to with my family. It was like, well, this is stuff that you should go through with your first place. You know, like your first place is usually where you living out the boxes, the bins. You don't have a dresser, or you living on your mattress, kind of working from the bottom to the top. But when I moved to my apartment, I was at the top. Now I'm low, and it's okay. It's really showing me more of God, allowing me to ask for help more, and allowing me to just see how it all comes together. And so my bed frame, had to ask for help with that. My dresser, we're going to be able to get ourselves a dresser pretty soon. Nightstand, hopefully too, pretty soon. And I'm looking forward to that. And I feel like me getting rid of a lot of stuff in the apartment was preparing me to move. Even though I did not know when I was going to move, even though I started to prepare to move from the apartment in 2024, and we ended up moving in 2025, it was still preparing me. I was getting rid of this, getting rid of that. And when we moved, it still felt like, dang, we moving. Like, moving, I don't know if you know, it's not the funnest thing to do, but it wasn't a whole bunch of stuff. A lot of the stuff was compact, put together. A lot of the stuff won't disorganized. It was kind of a easy move, the best way that I can describe it, with it being moving, because I know moving is pretty hectic, but it was a pretty easy move. And so I think about, what if I hadn't let go of a lot of stuff? What if I hadn't, you know, done the things that I would have done? It would have been a lot to move. It would have been a lot moving with what was Jace, May, June, July, August, with an almost 3-month-old, with my husband who was also working, with me who just had a baby not that long ago. It would have been just so much to do. And so I'm thankful that God had allowed me to let go of stuff. Let go. And even the bed frame breaking, even the dresser breaking, it was just like, no, let go of that too. Like, I want to get you new stuff. And it's funny because that bed frame and that dresser, the bed frame was gray and the dresser was like black, and it had a little bit of white, but it was darker colors. I like light, uplifted type of stuff, like stuff like this. I like browns and just different colors. Black, gray, that don't really reflect like the way that I want it to do. And so I think those things breaking was really like, why are you taking this to the new place? Like, some things can go to the new place, like you don't got to throw away everything, but why are you taking this to the new place? But I've been learning for real to enjoy these small beginnings. It's something to overcome the feeling of being embarrassed. I remember when I would do my hair videos for TikTok, I would do them in the bathroom, and I didn't even have like the shower curtain and stuff up in the bathroom that I was in yet. And I think I needed a new shower thing, but I didn't have none of that stuff up. And I was like, people are gonna look at the video and they're gonna be like, she don't even got her shower curtains up. But you know what I also said? But when I do have those shower curtains up, it's gonna allow people to see, okay, this is a process. Things don't have to be boom, 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 boom. And it also goes with healing too. Healing is a process. It's not like a boom, 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 you good, let's get out of here. No, sometimes it may just be, okay, you have your body, that's all you have. You have just you, right? You don't have nothing done up about you. You are just glad to be alive. You may be bleeding, you may be bruised, you may be hurt, whatever it may be, but you are still alive, right? And then God start working on this part of you, right? That's the bed frame. You know how people be trying to make a sermon out of everything? That's the bed frame. That's God lifting you up off that flow. That's one step of the process. Then you get a new comforter. God starts dressing you up in the inside to make it show out, you know. He gets you a new comforter, the new this, but it's a process. It's not like, okay, matches off the floor, you get the bed frame, get the comforter, da, 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 da. No, it takes time, and that's something that I've really been seeing during this time, is that it's a process. When I had money, it wasn't really a process of much things. It was, I can get it when I want to get it because I got it. But now it's like, no, you gotta wait. You gotta be patient, and you're gonna enjoy it, and you're gonna learn while you wait. And so I've really been enjoying these small beginnings. I'm sitting on the floor. This phone is on a clear clothes bin. I don't have any lighting except for this light on top of this ceiling, or on the ceiling fan. I don't have no microphone. I have my phone and I have myself, and I am just here to talk to y'all about the things that I'm going through, and just to talk to y'all about, you know, preparing the way that God says to prepare. It's going to help you in the long run.